You're listening to a Podfix Network podcast.
All right, welcome to Little Bits and Pieces. We are Walrus. My name is Matt.
I'm Christian.
And I am the very spooky Count Jeffula.
Ooh, it's a very special
Halloween episode
Halloween.
of
Yeah.
Little Bits and Pieces.
Jeff really wanted to do a Halloween thing.
Blah.
And, I mean, I think this is going to be a week early, but
Blah.
No, I think this is right on time, right? Because Halloween's on a Monday, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I want to do a bit.
Okay. We agreed to let Jeff do this, so we're going to let him do it. Please, Jeff, would you like the floor? Would you like me to introduce it? What do you want me to do?
No, I can handle it from here.
Okay. So he's doing
All
a
right.
vampire thing.
Give it up
Well,
to
no,
Jeffula.
Jeffula.
Count Jeffula, Matt. Hi, hello, listeners. You're listening to
His voice
the
changed. This is a
second.
different
Well,
accent.
this is a
lot.
different
It's changed a lot.
character. It's a
Oh,
different
sorry.
thing.
All right.
You're hello, listeners. You're listening to the 7th annual Walrus Presents Geoff Ween, and today is a very spooky day. We have we're going to discuss skeletons in our closets. Ooh, like Matt, who should be convicted for involuntary manslaughter. Ooh, it's spooky.
What?
Ooh, and Christian is he's just in general can be a real jerk sometimes. It's spooky. He's really mean. He's a mean streak. Ooh, but Jeff is he's pretty cool. There's nothing. It's almost scary how nice he is and what a great guy
Which
he
character
is.
is this that
Ooh.
you're doing?
Yeah, is
What?
he doing
No.
Count Jeffula, or is he
Well,
Jeff
this is
right
like
now?
I can't
It's like a
do
narrator
if I
or
did it in
something?
count. Yeah, it's a narrator, guys. Come on.
Well, but where's Count Jeffula? Why'd you introduce Count Jeffula?
I didn't think the people would want. It's like a Chris Pratt does Mario's voice thing. You can't do it the whole time.
But where
No.
is the real Jeff? I thought you were doing Count Jeffula as a character, and then Jeff was a.
Jeff is Count Jeffula, like the same.
So
like
you've just
Dracula, he's not
you've
always a vampire. He's
you've
like also
created
the Count.
So
three
in
characters now. You've created yourself, Count Jeffula.
You're
and this
ruining the
narrator
spirit
guy.
no,
of
are you
Geoff
saying
Ween.
that Count Jeffula was Jeff? Like you've gotten bit by a vampire?
Yes.
Between last week and this week.
Yes.
But then that means in the narrative now you have to, by the end of this episode, you need to get like converted back because we can't have you be a fucking
It's Chekhov's
vampire.
vampire.
You can't
Yeah.
be a vampire in every episode.
Okay, but I just like revealed that Matt should be on trial for involuntary, and that's like not for involuntary manslaughter, and that's like not a big issue. This is a bigger issue to you guys.
I mean,
Well, I mean to Matt, of course.
I mean,
'cause-
voluntary manslaughter is like a part of the world. You're doing, like people do that. That happens. But you're a vampire. That's weird.
Matt,
Yeah.
thoughts?
Well, I mean, even if I commit involuntary manslaughter, allegedly, you're admitting that you've been bitten by a vampire and now are a vampire and are biting other people and killing them. Not even involuntarily.
I didn't say I bite anyone
you
else.
have to if
It's-
you're a fucking vampire.
It's different. It's Geoff
no,
Ween.
it's fucking not, Jeff.
I mean, it could be
I'm
like one of
getting
those
tired of
Twilight.
these.
He could be one of those Twilight vampires who's like a vegetarian.
I'm done.
Wait, why did you get an accent? Because you turned into
Why?
a vampire. If Count Jeffula is normal Jeff bitten by a vampire, what part of that gives the accent?
No, and yeah. So he's Jeff, and then he gets bitten.
Ooh,
And
it's
now
me, the spirit of Jeff, Jeff the Phantom. Ooh, and I have a spooky secret.
Oh.
I'm just confused now because are you still a vampire if
Yeah,
you're also a
because
ghost?
I'm
can't
the
be both because-
ghost of Jeff the Phantom. I'm the ghost of Jeff the Phantom.
Wait. So are you the
No.
ghost of Jeff who is a phantom, or you're the ghost of Jeff the Phantom?
It's very spooky, and I have a spooky secret for Matt.
All right, what is it?
It's that everyone
Did you plan this out at all, Jeff?
talks.
Did you plan this
Everyone
out at all?
talks behind your. It's that you hurt my Jeff's feelings. Ooh,
Wait, so
and that's
did you,
what killed
did you
him.
die? You died?
It's the Phantom of Jeff died because his
Christian.
feelings were so hurt.
I hate to tell you, like he wrote this out and sent it to me. Like I'm reading the outline right now. This is exactly how he planned it.
This is really shoddy.
Word for fucking word, Jeff. This is insane.
That's worse.
How-
I wish he was making
I
this
know.
up.
It's very spooky.
This makes no sense.
It doesn't
You-
track at all. The narrative, I'm lost.
No, you're the ghost of the Phantom. You're a Dracula who has died and become the Phantom of a Phantom. That doesn't track.
What
It doesn't
cosmology are
track.
we going by? I just don't understand the.
Is this pagan? Is this like? Are we following vampire lore? Are we following phantoms? Are we like? What are we following here?
Hello, everybody. I'm the spooky skeleton of Jeff.
All right. Spooky skeleton, Jeff. Why don't we turn your mic down a little bit?
How's that?
A little bit louder.
How's that?
Maybe just don't yell into the mic. How's that sound, huh? God damn it.
Happy
God
Jeff,
damn it, Jeff.
Happy Geoff Ween, everybody.
Yeah, happy Geoff Ween to everybody out there, to you as well.
Yeah. To you and yours.
Best time of the year.
So on today's episode of Little Bits and Pieces, we wanted to talk a little bit about genre shows. What are the best types of genre shows we've seen?
And what are the worst?
And do we like them at all anyway? Because I have an answer to that.
And
That
I
shortens
know
this
what it is.
episode to 20 seconds.
If the answer is no, I'm not.
No.
Okay, I'm not.
No, that wasn't
Right.
20 seconds. I need a little extend that no
All right.
bit.
No. No, I'm not going to do that.
That's still not.
Yeah. So, what genre shows have you done before?
Shark.
It's a good genre. It's a good genre.
That's great. That was good timing. That was really good timing, Jeff. You've redeemed yourself. Just saying shark.
It's the spookiest time of the year.
Anybody?
Yeah, you know, I guess I'll start it off because I've done a fair amount of genre stuff. I've done because I've done a lot of like movie inspired stuff. That tends to be like honestly, I feel like in the world of genre shows that almost has its own like subcategory of things because I've done like improvised disaster movie and improvised like action movies and improvised rom-coms and stuff like that. I've done I done improvised like holiday themed shows is a popular one. I've done like I've done like 4th of July shows. I've done Christmas shows that have been themed. And then also like its own genre. What I do a lot of actually is I do a lot of musical improv, which I don't necessarily think a lot of people think of when they think of genre improv off the top of their heads, but I do think at least a specific school of thought, musical improv tends to just be genre improv with the
Yeah.
genre being that of a musical, unless you're doing something that's a bit more not that. But
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. Yeah, because I feel like if you don't see them as genre shows, then they can lack direction pretty quickly.
right, like I've seen people do shows that I think tend towards or almost skew away from traditional improv and more tend to come to something that's more like a music comedy kind of a thing, which aren't like influenced by like musical theater stuff, because it's like, not all musical improv shows are musical theater driven. They're like, driven from like a different musical style or something like that. But I think most of it tends to be like a musical theater background. So typical, like, something you'd see on Broadway inspired, but just like way worse. And Just but so I've done a lot of that. That's kind of
What I think I know the answer. I think we've talked about this, but what's your favorite musical?
it's a great question.
I'm gonna get off the
Thank you.
call. I'm gonna get off the call,
and
Yeah, that's
guys.
all right. You can go.
it's a great question. It's I feel like part of the thing that makes it, and part of I will admit I have a chip on my shoulder when it comes to this,
Oh, wait,
in
whoa, whoa,
regards to
whoa.
musical theater.
Explain that.
So what I will say is musical theater is very elitist of a thing, and it's very hard to actually see shows. So like, to like see like professional done shows and stuff. So it's like, even as someone who does enjoy musical theater quite a lot, the amount of shows I've actually been able to see is actually quite limited in its capacity compared to the amount of shows like I've heard the album for or something like that.
Mhm.
Like, so even though now I live in a place that has probably more opportunities to see stuff like that, I didn't always, and so it's kind of, and even if you do live nearby, it's like so prohibitively expensive to go to the
Oh, yeah.
theater. And sorry, this is a bit of a rant now, but it's like they have the opportunity. Sometimes they'll do like what are called pro shoots, where it's like they make like a really nice video recording of a musical or a stage show or something, so a lot more people can see them. A lot of people are probably familiar with like the Hamilton pro shoot that was very popular during the pandemic and stuff, where they get the original cast in and all that. But most shows don't release things like that. And because of that, like for me, I'm just a little bitter that they're not more commonplace. That's like, man, sure would be nice if people who don't live in New York and can't afford to see these shows could actually see the damn things. Long story short, sorry, my favorite musical right now is probably Newsies.
I was kind of hoping you just go. Long story short, Newsies.
which does have, I think the reason I brought it up is because it does have a pro shoot. So I've never seen it live, but I've seen on Disney Plus, you can see like a full production of it now, which is pretty good. So that's one of my favorite musicals at the moment, because that I've actually been able to see. If I've been able to see more of the shows that I've listened to the songs for, that could easily change. But
Yeah. So musicals, the one that stands out in my mind was the Frankenstein one that we did in the basement of Iberian.
yeah, that was a really good one. That was a really good genre show. You want to
That was
explain,
cool.
a bit of what we did for that?
Yeah, so we worked with this nonprofit called Wordier Than Thou that is like a literary nonprofit. They provide books and stuff, and they asked if we wanted to improvise through Frankenstein, the book, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and yes, we did. But what was cool is it was basically like pulled out excerpts from the book. We would basically flip to them and use those as scene cuttings and also scene openings. They'd be like transitions. Um, and we'd basically like describe stuff, but because of the way Mary Shelley writes, it's very like, thou is to be a thine, da da da. It's very open to interpretation. So the scenes that we do were inspired by those.
Yeah, that style
But
was like really perfect for doing that kind of show. The kind of like writing, which wasn't just like a very much a happening of a deliverance of what happened. It has like that
yeah,
flowery prose that kind of lets you be more creative with what you want to do with it.
yeah, and I enjoyed it. I think the best version of that show is basically minimal plot driving in the text, but still you get the idea. But also from an improviser perspective, going outside of the story, going outside of the plot,
Yeah.
and but living in something that's analogous or tangential to the main plot
Yeah.
that then you can hash out in a fun narrative way, like we did with the Harry Potter one. There was that one wasn't very good, but but there was this moment where it was like cut to living room or whatever. It was a living room and like a dude bro is watching a Quidditch match with his wife, and it's like a classic archetypal scene. It's like, why don't you look at me anymore? And it's
Right,
like,
like it's
shut up,
football or
babe.
something, right? Yeah.
Oh, the I don't even know. The
Bludger,
bludgeon, the
bludger,
bludger.
quaffle, snitch. But
It's
in
Whoa. Nice.
In general, I think with genre improv, you do got to be a little careful with like playing like the tropes exactly, or just like reenactment over
Yeah.
inspiration. I think is definitely something you got to watch out for, because like you
Well,
ride this line of like, especially because part of the reason I think genre shows are so prevalent is because they're so easily marketable, and
Oh
so.
yeah. Someone goes, "Oh, what am I seeing tonight?" It's like, "Oh, it's Harry Potter or whatever."
Which I will have to
Okay.
say, I think it was really funny. I went to go see a show a couple nights ago that was like supposed to be like a parody, or not a parody of, but like influenced by the concept of something like Hamilton, right? And so it's like where it's like a hip hop show inspired by like one particular person.
Is that Spamilton?
Shamilton, I think it is. Yeah,
Shamilton?
yeah.
There's like 1,000 versions of that show.
Yeah. And I went to go see this, and I sat next to this guy who was an asshole. Like, this guy I was sitting next to was a dick. I won't even go into like the reasons why, but like just a huge dick. And I think he didn't know what he bought tickets for,
Oh
because I could
no.
hear him talk to his girlfriend say, "I'm sorry, baby, I didn't know." And
He's like, "Wow, these tickets for Hamilton are only $10,
Right,
babe.
right,
Let's go."
and that's what I think he thought. I think he thought he
Oh
booked tickets for
no.
Hamilton or something like that, because
Oh,
because that's part of the reason they're so annoying, is because they won't shut the fuck up. They're sitting
that's
next to me
funny.
having like this hushed tones argument of like of this was clearly supposed to be like a big date night thing, and I thought that was pretty funny. But the but yeah, the shows though are so marketable, and so I think you ride this
Mhm.
line of like you want to deliver to the audience what they asked for, so it's like you need to like deliver on the promise of the marketing, and you need to like
Yeah,
deliver it, but you don't want to just like
you don't want to do the thing
right
because
then
it
you're
will not live up to the thing.
right, because
It
yeah,
can't.
improvise anything will never be as good as scripted that thing. It's
Exactly.
like,
The I've been teaching the Armando a lot recently. To like, I coached a team and I taught I'm teaching it to the class. But the thing that I'm noticing is kind of similarly on that line. Like the monologue, people burn so much information
mm,
from the monologue, but then I'm applying that to the narrative of the whatever archetype or whatever the genre is. And if you burn too much of that stuff, then it's just like, what are you doing? You're like doing whatever. But if you go, New York's like a character in this, then it's like, oh, it's a rom com. Like that's
right.
what makes it a rom com. If I mention everything that was said in the monologue, that's what makes it an Armando. Woo! It's interesting.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's a balancing act, a bit.
Jeff, you haven't said anything.
Just not since
I,
Geoff
I,
Ween.
yeah, well,
Oh, maybe is that why?
I had spent pretty much all year working on Geoff Ween, and
I,
you wanted to do this stupid genre garbage and talk about what
look,
people
I could.
wanted Geoff Ween.
No, you kept saying Jeff
People
Ween. We
wanted
didn't even
Geoff
know what the hell
Ween.
you were talking about. I thought you were talking about your dick, Jeff. I thought you were just saying, "Hey, Jeff Ween,"
There's
and it's like, no.
I thought you were trying
okay.
to quit something like slowly.
I thought you really liked that band.
But you're all wrong. It was the holiday.
Well, the next time, just fill us in better and honestly, script it out better.
I sent you the script. I said, Matt, does this look good? And you glanced.
didn't
This is
read it.
exactly
I
what
didn't
happened.
read it, okay?
I came backstage while you were on set, and I said, hey, Matt, I know you're really busy right now. Can you please look at this? I put a lot of effort into this, and I think this is my big shot. You took it, you glanced at it, you
And I
rolled
said,
your
"You'll never
eyes.
make it in showbiz, kid." And I spit on the paper and threw it at your face. And I said, "Get this guy out of here. This
Yeah,
is
but
my
then there was
studio."
that piano music started playing, and like the lights kind of dimmed, and one was on me, and I had that whole number, and everyone was like, I don't know what you guys were doing, but I was like singing my number, and then I wanted to do Geoff Ween, which happened now 10 minutes ago,
Yeah.
and
Um,
Is
you
Geoff
could,
Ween the same calendar day as Halloween?
it changes it goes by the lunar
Oh,
calendar,
gotcha.
which is spookier because it's the moon.
Yeah.
But not
So
spooky in the context of other cultures. I'm not calling cultures that use the lunar calendar spooky. I
just
just
Geoff
want to
Ween.
be clear. Well, Geoff Ween is, yeah, I mean, it's what, see, this is the thing. It's spooky, but like, like I can say that because I'm Jeff, but like for you to say it, it's kind of not cool because it's like you don't get Geoff Ween. Like it doesn't make sense to you.
So do you have any genre stories, Jeff? How do you feel about genre?
I feel
How do
like
you
he
feel
likes
about
it because
What,
I feel like
this feels pretty genre-y.
yeah.
what genre? Shark?
I guess
Shark,
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I had a couple shark shows. I had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, what was your best shark show?
I'll come out and I'll do this thing, and I'll be like, like I'm a great white shark, and everyone's like, oh, we're hammerheads, and yeah, just your basic stuff. It kind of
Yeah.
goes from there. There's lots of character development, and then I don't know whatever Matt said about the Armando, so that I can sound like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Matt.
It sounds pretty basic.
No, I don't know. I don't think I've done a lot of genre shows. I mean, like I've done genre bits, like that we had that. Like you'll have a bit that frames a show, but I think it's unfair to call that it's like genre adjacent. Like we had that show, Matt, where you did it was Christmas, but it wasn't Christmas. But it was really a January 6th thing, and you were playing this like, insurrectionist or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
What's funny about you just describing that is that sounds like you were just doing a bit
doing
just
a
then,
bit.
but that
did happen.
That was a show, but it really wasn't Christmas themed. I mean, the bit was quote unquote Christmas, but it really wasn't. It was more of a narrative thing. And I don't want to go and say all narrative shows are genre shows, even though that line does get blurred. But like, I've done like a Star Wars montage, but it really was just accidentally Star Wars. There was no, I think if it's genre, there should be some amount of like, hey guys, we're going to do an X show.
Right.
And
yeah, but even then it's like, have you guys done a Slacker before?
no. Well, maybe.
What is that for you? Maybe I've done that. I don't, by a different name.
I use Microsoft Teams.
Now I'm like, I don't know.
That's an intro. That's close ball. Playing inside ball there.
That's close ball. That's close ball, baby. No,
I don't know. Did AMT ever do?
No. I think the Slacker is a tag out.
No,
form.
I meant genre.
I don't think so. But I was going to say the Slacker is a form based on Richard Linklater's film Slacker.
That reminds me. I used to do a form called a Mamet, which I think was loosely inspired by David Mamet stuff.
Which I think those are technically genre shows.
I did a form called Montage, which I think is inspired by
John Montage.
No, Montaigne, the French essayist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Armando is based on Armando Diaz's life.
Yeah, his life story.
Which he's still alive.
That flew me for a loop. I think I've already talked about that on the show before, but
people shouldn't name things after themselves because they think you're dead.
Yeah, I'm going to assume you're dead if you have anything named after you.
What if we did shows that were named after one another? Please, Walrus presents the Christian Torres in memorialization. Yeah,
the Christian Torres and the Jeffrey Fellow would probably be pretty decent.
Yeah,
those would be good shows.
Okay. And what about mine? What about the Matt Walker?
I think the thing about genre shows is they can be fun and funny.
I think with a genre show,
it's a nice neutral statement, Jeff. I like that.
To give a little bit more of anything to the statement, I will say, I do think that you need buy-in by everybody on stage to do a genre show. I think a lot of times the shows you see that aren't great, and that is a lot of them. It's clear that like one person on the team wanted to do genre and everybody else was like fine. I think like if you don't have a team that's like wants to do genre and is all knowledgeable about the genre, I don't think you're gonna have a good time.
That's the thing is people just imagine. Well, it's because improv is the way it is. People think that if you're like, oh, let's do an improvised Stranger Things show, it's like cool. they're like, I don't need to prepare at all for it. And
Right,
it's like,
right.
no,
Like
you do. You have to know how Stranger Things works.
Same with sharks.
right. Like you need to know, and the
Yeah.
thing is, like you need to know about sharks too. It's like you can't just like have seen a shark once. You kind of need
I
to
have
know, like
seen way too many shows where people come in and they think all a shark is open the mouth, close the mouth, and that's the scene. And it gets a lot deeper than
But
that.
I feel like the
Well-
thing people forget the most about genre shows is there's a structure to each thing that you're doing a genre show about. That's the whole point of a genre show. Even
Right,
if it's
and
if it's shark, you know
that it's
shark
going to
is
be
a three act structure where there's a big cliffhanger before the next shark. You know.
right. A lot of people don't realize this, but it's also informed by the archetype, recognizing those
Exactly.
patterns. And so for shark, for example,
It's kind of a hero's journey. Shark.
You just wanted to get to the joke before me, huh, Matt? Fine.
Oh, is that what you're?
Yeah, I was
didn't know.
building up to I was going to misidentify. Okay, so for those of you who don't know at home, I was going to build up to the idea that the joke was going to be, I was going for rom-com. I was going to say, one shark meets another shark and they fall in love, but there's some tension and some issues they don't necessarily. But that you just went to heroes. It was the same idea. Idea was
kind
that we
of,
had
except
serious
you
with-
said archetype, story archetype, and hero's journey is a story archetype. Rom-com is just a genre. So you're
Ooh.
mixing shark with rom-com. I am saying what rom-com is a hero's journey.
Are
A
you
rom-com
going
can
on
be.
record saying genre cannot be an archetype?
No, genre is an archetype, but an archetype is not a genre.
Squares
It's
and
a
rectangles.
Yeah. So I think my choice there was a better one.
How about we
But
do a
we can-
genre show? No, let's do a genre show
No, yeah.
where someone gives me some respect for once.
Yeah, can the genre for our next podcast be a good show? Can that possibly be the genre that we do?
Yeah.
Again, so
Well,
going back to preparing and actually understanding the genre, the answer is no. Is the short of it.
Listen, we can have the listeners. They've obviously heard both options for the end of that joke. They can vote online if they prefer your rom-com dumb shit or my great hero's journey edition.
Text Geoff or loser to Walrus is the number.
And then text Matt or winner to that same number if you want
No,
me.
that wasn't what I meant. Most people understood what I meant.
Well, was there a comma there or was there not? It's a spoken word, so I don't know.
Well, Matt or winner still suggests that, because that could still suggest that I'm the winner.
No.
Right?
You're saying.
So loser or Matt will give you the same result, and Geoff or winner will give you the same result. I win this joke.
And if you type in third option,
Christian wins.
Then that just brings you to a different website, and there's like a fun ARG that you can do.
Wait a minute. Where do you stand on this, Christian?
I'm taking.
I don't know what we're arguing about anymore,
I'm Switzerland. I'm Switzerland in this.
You know, apathy is almost the worst of all evils.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I couldn't remember it. Shut up.
That's my.
The opposite. Yeah, the opposite of good.
It's not evil. It's apathy.
It's my alignment. Yep.
Anyway, on that note, we got a few plugs. We got
spooky plugs.
Spooky plugs.
Ooh,
Sure.
Happy Geoff Ween.
Nashville.
Yeah, we're going to be in the Third Coast Comedy Improv Festival. Third Coast Improv Festival up at Third Coast Comedy in Nashville from the 2nd to the 5th. We perform on the 4th.
Which real fans know is Geoff Ween. That's
Hell
right.
yeah.
That's when Geoff Ween falls this year.
It's a really fun festival. If you live up there, you should check it out. If you don't, you could still check it out. But I
just check it out.
I wouldn't put that on anyone.
No, check it out.
I mean, if you live close there, but you don't live there, that's still pretty good. But if you live like a few states away, maybe just wait till we're.
I mean,
over
life
there.
is short. It's like, what are you doing with your life? Go travel. Get out, see the world.
Which state you want us to come to at Walrus?
Also, just go ahead and text Geoff or loser again. Just to put it all in one folder so we can just go
get
through
some
it.
Really bizarre texts here. Alabama, Geoff loser.
Also, this Friday at Greenlight Cinemas in St. Pete, Gavin Hawk and I have been doing something called Glockenspiel, where we're two nice German lads who are exploring irrational fears through improv, and it's been really fun. And it's a cage
Powerful.
match that we're going up against our my alma mater team, Another Man's Trash from Eckerd.
Ooh.
And they're probably going to win because they're going to bring a lot of kids from Eckerd.
A battle of the generations.
But it's super fun. It's a fun time, and this next Friday is the last one, so that'll be done. So don't sleep on that.
But doesn't this show
It's-
come out on Thursday?
Yeah, it comes out on Thursday.
Okay, so tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'm saying when they're listening to this.
What did I say? Did I not say Friday?
No, you did. I'm just saying, like,
no, when
it's,
the show release, it's not. You can't speak from the presence of today, which is Monday, October 24th.
no.
I
I'm saying,
agree.
no, all I am saying is that the day that they're listening to this, the show you're talking about is tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
what about
only if you're
people who listen
only
to
if you're
it
listening to this
after?
on Thursday or Friday morning. I know we probably have some Friday morning listeners.
all our big Thursday heads, plug in because this is real.
I'm just saying that time is of the essence. If you want to go to the show, go now. Leave now.
Yeah. So, Geoff, you seem to be calling me out for something totally different. I knew that it came out on Thursday, so I knew that Friday meant the day after Thursday.
Our
Still, it
Thursday
is-
heads are not going to be happy.
Thursday heads. Anybody else got any fun shows? Anything?
Nope.
I think that's it. Christian, you're doing a lot of stuff up there. Go to any of Annoyance Nights. Anybody go see Christian?
Yeah, I'm just
And,
I'm just there. I'm just
is.
hanging around.
He knows how. He knows how.
I know.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Happy
We'll see you
Halloween.
next time. Geoff Ween.
Happy
Oh,
Geoff
Geoff Ween.
Ween,
Bye.
everybody.
Geoff
Bye.
Ween.
Bye.
Doobie-doo. Where are?
Hi, I'm Christian Torres from Walrus. If you're interested in supporting this show, the best thing that you can do is rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure to check out walrus.com, that's WALLARES, for a full list of our socials, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Stay tuned for news about any live shows that we may have, and new episodes of Little Bits and Pieces come out every Thursday wherever you get your podcasts.
The show you've just listened to is a part of the Podfix Network. To listen to other shows on the network, head over to podfixnetwork.com, follow on Twitter @Podfix, and join the Podfix Nation at facebook.com/Podfix.